Hi everyone and welcome to episode 11 of Relegation Rescue at Augsburg with me, the United City FM. So we are coming to the end of this particular part of this series. Our time at Augsburg is almost over. We've got two final matches in this episode that we're going to be playing just to see what our fate is in the Bundesliga this season. We still sit in that relegation zone, which is a bit of a problem. But just before we get to that properly, you can see on the screen in front of us, these are the pending nations that are being brought into the game for the choice for our next location. So we're currently sitting in Germany. We haven't got England coming in because of my Rolling in the Isles series being based in the British Isles. I've taken England out of the equation. So the new leagues are Belgium, France, Holland, Italy, Portugal and Spain. So one of those is going to be the destination on the next Christmas Day to put in the manager in the new club, whoever sits bottom of that league on Christmas Day. So you now get to vote on that in the comment section below. Just write one of these nations in the comments below. I'll tot up the numbers. I'll also put this as a Twitter question over the weekend probably as well for my Twitter followers to have a vote there as well. So those two places on Twitter and in the comments below this video will determine where we go next. So get voting below and we'll see what the next destination is, and then I'll find out who on Christmas Day is the bottom of that particular league and we'll take over them for the half season and see if we can avoid relegation with them. So that's for the next episode next week though. For today, as I say, Augsburg, we do still sit in the relegation zone. We're sitting 16th. We are 1 point behind Frankfurt and we are 3 points behind Mainz. So there's still opportunities for us to get out of this. And we've got a really tough couple of games. The first one being tough because it's our direct opponents beneath us in Dusseldorf. They sit on equal points with us, but on goal difference we're above them. And so we've got that as the first game, and they'll be scrapping for their lives as well. And the second game is hard because it's third place Leipzig. And they're going to be very difficult to get points off of at this stage of the season. So two really tough games, and we're not making it any easier for ourselves because we've got some issues in terms of injuries and suspensions. So today, Kubek is still out right the way through to the end of the season, our number one goalkeeper. Udikai is injured, and Kadira and Max are both suspended for this game, having picked up too many yellow cards in the most recent matches and therefore aren't available for the game. So we've had to rejig this side again at the wrong moment, the worst moment possible. Just as we need everybody to be on top form and focused, we don't have four of our main sort of starting squad. And so we've had to rejig the side. So for the first game against Dusseldorf, the side is going to be Luth in goal, Jedve at right back, Iago at left back, Such Fun and Mavropanos in central defence, with Gruso, Gibbs White and Elena in central midfield, with Hahn on the right, Vargas on the left and Finn Bogerson up top, with a bench of Golden Lion, Framberger, Lichtsteiner, Moravec, Diaz, Meyer, Greg, Richter and Needy Man. So that's the team for today. Really important matches. So let's get into the first of the matches and see what happens. So I've passionately told everybody I have faith in them. I've told them that today is the day to end our poor run of form. We need to win this match and get out of this relegation zone before we play Leipzig, if at all possible. Unfortunately, it's away from home, so we're in Dusseldorf's house. And obviously they're, as I say, fighting for their Bundesliga survival as well. So it is going to be a really tricky game. But can we find a way to get that really important 3 points? And let's hope that somehow we can gain a little bit of confidence from this leading into the last game against top table opposition in Leipzig. And it's Gibbs White down the right-hand side, cuts into the box, gets the cross into the far post. Vargas with the header goes slightly over the top of the bar, and an early opportunity goes begging, but a good opportunity to stamp our way of play onto this game and really show that we're here for the fight. And just as we're saying that, the long free kick from Dusseldorf comes in right the way to that back post, and on the half volley, I think it was, the attacking player puts it home nicely on that right-footed volley. Very, very good finish. But we shoot ourselves in the foot again by not defending properly, and the pressure is all piled on us, definitely. Even though it's the Dusseldorf players seemingly in their body language that are feeling the pressure, It's all on us now. 1-0 down after 20 odd minutes. We've really got to up the tempo. So we're going to go straight into an attacking way of play, and we're going to shout for them to get more creative. We've got the ball with Finn Bogerson into Elena in central midfield. Moves it on to Vargas. Vargas with a long shot. Narrowly wide. And it's those fine margins that haven't gone for us really over the last few weeks of this particular save. Always on those narrow margins. We need somebody to step up and be the big player here and really find a way to impact this game. And leading into half-time, we haven't found it. Statistically, we've been doing well in the match, had more of the opportunities, etc., but we just haven't taken them. So aggressively, I expect to see a much better performance from you all in the second half. That motivated them, fired them up. And immediately as we come out, we're going to shout to push forward and see whether we can get anything from that. But again, it's a free kick from Dusseldorf, and they go 2-0 up. This is an absolute disaster. 2-0 up with 2 minutes into the second half, and again, it's off a set piece. Our set piece defending has been dreadful today. You can see it's on the right-hand side, comes in on the diagonal. First header hits the post, and the defenders don't react as well as the strikers do. And they get an easy tap in. There's no offside decisions. Nothing's going to go for us in that respect. And we go 2-0 down, and we've got to change something pretty drastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the tactics, and give me a minute and I will rearrange this side and come back with something. So we've gone back to the old shape, the 4-4-2. We've got two guys up front. We're going to play a Route 1, very attacking Route 1 football. See whether we can bombard them with chances. So we've taken out Jedve, Vargas and Gibbs-White, partially through the shift of shape of the team, but also because a couple of them weren't playing well. So Lichtsteiner and Meyer and Just Greg come on in their place. Let's see if we can get something from the last section of this game, because so far it definitely hasn't been good enough. And again, it's a free kick from Dusseldorf, and again they put us to the sword, and we are sinking without a trace. And there is pretty much not much else I can do about it. We're going to go back into the shouts, and we're going to say, show some passion, and see whether we can get anything from them at all out of that. You can see it fires them up, but they've got to demonstrate that in their play. And this, we are going to do this the hard way again. If we get out of this mess, we've got to take the points from Leipzig all of a sudden, and that's going to be really tricky. Today, when crunch came, the Dusseldorf players were so much more up for this match than we were, and it's still with half an hour left. It could be any scoreline, all in the favour of Dusseldorf so far. Luther with the goal kick for us, right up to Just Greg, but he loses out against the defender there. And again, it's Dusseldorf that come away with the ball, and we could again get put to the sword if we're not very, very careful. They play it very nicely. It looks like they're doing like a vertical tiki-taka or something. There's some really good movement in that. And there is the fourth goal. It was coming all the way through that move, you can see. And this side, there's so much potential in this club, it feels like. But none of it's being realised at the moment. And partially that's me, partially they haven't taken to my management, partially it's the players that we've got currently aren't quite good enough. And then there's a whole disconnect in terms of finding the style and the way of play that fits for them. And we just haven't been able to do it in this particular save. And so far in this game, we are sinking without a trace. It's going to make it very hard in the next match. We are going to give that a good go. Of course we are. But we could be done and dusted by that point. Finn Bogerson on the ball, back to Elena. These are the types of guys that have to find a way to unlock the Dusseldorf defence for us. Iago down the left-hand side, and Just Greg gets a consolation goal, possibly. If we come back from this in this game now, that would be incredible. Maybe that's the first chance to do it. You've seen us come back in this save and in other saves that I do quite a lot before. So anything's possible. But that's a good cross from Iago and a very good header from Just Greg, and gives us a glimpse of something. But it's only a glimpse at this point. 70 minutes gone, 4-1 down, and yeah, What else can you say, really? And we are now sinking without a trace again. That last 10 minutes flew by with no highlights. Again, a chance for us. Udikai down the right-hand side with the throw-in. Just Greg gets it into the box. Elena on the edge of the box has a shot. And again, it goes over the top of the bar. And he doesn't quite have the quality on his shot to trouble the goalkeeper, really. 86 minutes. And again, we win the ball through to Just Greg. He's got one already. And he doesn't get a second. Good goalkeeping. Stand up tall. And to his right-hand side, pushes the ball round the post for a corner kick. Corner out that far side for Elena, but it doesn't get to one of our guys. And it's again, it's Dusseldorf that come away with the ball, and they could counter-attack on us very strongly, but Gruso puts it out. Is that going to be the last of the highlights for this game? No, it's Dusseldorf with one last one off the corner. And it's those set pieces. All the way through the game, those set pieces. On the biggest game of the season, we absolutely get decimated by Dusseldorf. And to be honest, all of my passion for Augsburg is sinking through the floor at this point. 5-1 we lost. If we get out of this, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. But that's incredible that we should lose so badly at such an important time. Let's go and have a look and see what the table suggests. So we sink even further into the relegation zone. Now, in theory, we can still get out of it if we beat Leipzig and both Frankfurt and Dusseldorf don't get a win. So there is still hope, but boy, is it a slim hope. So let's get into the game against Leipzig and see what happens. So here we are on the edge of relegation. One last game against Leipzig. Top of the table Leipzig. They're sitting currently in third place. We're right the way down, one off the bottom in the Bundesliga. One final match, and today it's as problematic as ever. Kubek out, Udikai out, Gibbs White out, Meyer out. Again, it's a reshuffle back to the 4-4-2. We're going to change the custom wing play into a route 1, and we are just going to try and as much as we can bombard Leipzig with heavy Arsenal for our two front guys to latch onto. It's not going to be easy at all, but I can't see any other way of playing. We're not going to outplay them. So we've got to outfight them and outbattle them, and this gives us the best chance, I think, to do that. But your guess is as good as mine. So here we go. With Luth in goal, Jedve at right back, Max at left back, Such Fun and Mavropanos in central defence, Gruso and Elena in central midfield, Hahn on the right, Vargas on the left, and Just Greg and Finn Bogerson up top. With a bench of Golden Lion, Framberger, Iago, Kadira, Moravec, Lichtsteiner, Diaz, Richter and Needyman. One last chance. Let's get into the Leipzig game and see what happens. So we've simply asked them to do this for the fans. One last chance to get out of this relegation zone. It's going to be a big ask. Even if we get a positive result here, it doesn't mean that we can get out of relegation because it's reliant on other results going our way as well. But let's just see how we get on in the Leipzig game. It's the only thing that we can control. And so far, in terms of stat terms, we've started well, but nothing has happened, particularly in the highlights for the matches. But here's the first chance with Hahn down the right-hand side. Loses out to Davies, though. And they get a chance to pick up that ball and maintain possession in midfield. And again, really challenge us at the back. And here we go with that one first chance. And I think that foul was on the edge of the box, but outside. The ref's going to check it out, but I think we'll find that it was an outside of the box decision, and it'll be a free kick. Out comes the referee, makes the VAR sign, and it is indeed a free kick down that left-hand side, which I thought it would be. Still puts under pressure, though, with the free kicks and the corner kicks that we had against us in the last match that were absolutely dreadful. We've got to do something better here, and on that occasion, Mavropanos on the back post does, but it's followed up by a free kick, and this time the goalkeeper does, and he punches it out, and Vargas picks up the loose ball, but loses possession at a key moment, just as we were on that counter-attack. And again, it's Leipzig that come back at us, and they get a chance to hold on to that ball and kill the game a little bit from our momentum point of view. And they're doing a very good job of it. You can see that we're chasing shadows a little bit, keeping our shape. Okay, that's fine. but we're not really getting close to taking it off them, and they work it nicely down the left-hand side. Crosses then blocked, though, very nicely from Jedve, and Hahn picks up the loose ball, goes early to Just Greg, and is there the support in the centre for Just Greg, and it's Finn Bogerson, gets his shot away, but it's blocked. We maintain possession on the edge of the box. Vargas with another shot, and puts it wide, and a big chance goes begging. But we are doing well in terms of this match so far. You can see that we have more chances than they have. We haven't had the same amount of possession, but that's the style of play that we've got. And maybe this is the style of play just at the last that Leipzig are going to struggle with the most. Our attacking, positive, route one type of football. Coming up to half-time, we've got an injury to Vargas that we've got to check out. And we've got 0-0 leading into half-time, which isn't bad considering the shape of the match, but we can do better. So we're going to have to go in and assertively tell them we've been the better side, keep doing what you're doing, and then we're going to build them up passionately, say, I believe you've got what it takes, and see if we can finally get something out of this group of players just at the death when the threat of relegation is hanging over us. Can we do something? We've left Vargas on just for now. He's improved a little bit in terms of his conditioning, so he'll see out at least half of this second half. Max with a corner kick to that far post, and Hahn with a really, really good shot, but it gets taken away by the defence in the end. It doesn't come to anything for us, and again Leipzig counter-attack, but the highlight dies. 57 minutes, the time is ticking, and it's a free kick again for Leipzig. We know we'd struggle with these a little bit and just do enough to get the danger out from that first attempt, and the ball comes in off the second, and Leipzig go 1-0 up. And we are, again, off those free kicks and those corner kicks. We are so bad, and I don't quite know what we can do about this. Leipzig, top of the table, Leipzig take a 1-0 lead. 62 minutes, again it's a free kick down that right hand side for Leipzig. This time the goalkeeper claims it. Can we do something with it though? We've got possession of the ball and we need to go route one and try and batter them, but there's nobody there. There was absolutely nobody in the position the goalkeeper put it, and it was so simple for the defence to gather it up. And again, we are sinking, not in scoreline today. This is not a bad scoreline so far. It could get worse, but we are still sinking out of this division without too much of a fight. Having said that, Gruzo gets his foot in and puts it early up to Just Greg, and he gets hold of the ball, runs at his defender, beats his defender into the box, one chance, and doesn't take it again. Straight at the goalkeeper, who claims the ball very comfortably. 67 minutes gone. Let's make a few changes. Vargas comes off because of his injury. Diaz comes on. Elena on a 6.4. The guy that we brought in to run the show hasn't done it today. Moravec comes in just at the point where he's recovering just about from injury to be on the bench, so he comes in for the last few minutes. And then one of the top guys, Finn Bogerson, again hasn't demonstrated enough goal scoring prowess, and so he comes out, and we're going to put Needy Man up top just for those last few minutes and see whether he can deliver anything for us. 20 minutes left. We've got to go for it now. So all of it, we're going all out attack. We're going to shout for them to push forward and see if we can get anything from this match at all. But again, it's Leipzig on the ball down the right-hand side, taking their time to move it across to the left-hand side. Look how much space he's in, and there's nobody closing him down, and he stands there for like 3 seconds surveying the land and continues with the possession. And again, we've fouled on the edge of the area, and the referee again is going to go check his monitor. I still think this one is a free kick too, but man, are we putting ourselves under so much pressure. Referee comes out, makes the VAR symbol, and then suggests it's again a free kick on the very edge of our box. We're a little bit fortunate. I kind of knew it would be, but again, we're putting ourselves under pressure with these free kicks, these set pieces. Can Leipzig make something out of this one? And they don't. They go loose over the top of everybody, and it just goes out for a goal kick, and we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Luth with the goal kick goes long again up to Just Greg. Can he win the ball? He does, and he controls it and puts it off to Hahn on the right hand side. Runs at his defender, gets past his defender, and surely that is a red card, is that not? And he doesn't even get booked for it. Incredible. He cynically hacked down the guy from behind and gets nothing for it. But we get possession, and down that right hand side the cross comes back in, but the goalkeeper claims it, and we're still not being clinical enough on our opportunities when we get them. And they set off on a counter-attack and move it really quickly through the centre of the pitch and then out to this right-hand side. And that's inside the box this time, I think. And I think we've just given away a penalty. And on this occasion, I'm almost certain of it. Let's see what the referee gives. 84 minutes gone. Referee still looking at the monitor. Now comes out. Is he going to put the nail in our coffin and give a penalty? It's a free kick. That's really fortunate. I was convinced that was a penalty on that occasion, but it's still a free kick and it doesn't lead to a highlight. But our time at Augsburg is done. The clock is ticking towards 95th minute. There it goes. We lose 1-0 in the very final match. We'll tell them that we're disappointed by that, because that's it. We get relegated from the Bundesliga. There were moments, especially early on, where I thought this was going to be fairly easy to sort this mess out, and it has been anything but. And our run of form has been absolutely dreadful. If we go and have a look at the schedule and just see that last couple of months, and that's why we got relegated. We couldn't find the winning mentality after that Wolfsburg performance, where I thought maybe that's going to turn. Look at what happened in February. 3 draws and a win was pretty good. We got a win against Wolfsburg in March, and then from that point it fell through the floor and we sank without a trace, and we get relegated from the Bundesliga. And even if I was going to stay at Augsburg, which you know that I'm not, we're going to be doing something different next, but they wouldn't have me anyway. They're now going to sack me. Absolutely they would. And why wouldn't they? We got relegated from the Bundesliga, and that shouldn't have happened at all with a club like this. We took over in difficult circumstances, but even so, yeah, not good enough. And the first of our relegation rescue attempts hasn't worked out for us at all. They get a measly budget for next season down in the division below. They received 27 million for finishing in 17th place, which is a decent amount of money that should set them up moving forward financially. But from our point of view, our time at Augsburg is done. The league table doesn't lie. And all the way through that process, we were not good enough. And unfortunately, the relegation rescue fails and Augsburg get relegated. So where are we going to go next? A new bright day happens next episode. A new league. Vote for that in the comments below. Augsburg, we tried and we tried and we tried, but you can see it just didn't work out. So let's see what happens next in the next episode for Relegation Rescue and where we're going to end up next. A new challenge, but a similarly really hard challenge. Can we keep the bottom club at Christmas up and avoid relegation? Let's find out. Thanks for joining me in this particular part of the series at Augsburg. Hope you enjoyed the series, even if it ended in disappointment. I enjoyed it. It's a challenge, but really frustrating as well. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that like button on this video if you haven't already. That really helps me. And I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.